Hi, I'm Stuart from HiFi PiG. I'm here with Michael Børresen of Audio Group Denmark. And we're here to talk about the... we're in Vienna, aren't we?
We're in Vienna, yeah. It's for me a new location. Of course, came from Munich.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how this will shape up over the next days.
It's very different, isn't it?
For us, we have an area roam around in. For us, it's not so different. But for you, I guess it's very different because you have all these levels and floors and rooms and not so used to logistics to get around.
It's very, very different.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good place to have a show. Vienna's beautiful. It's got musical history and all the rest of it.
In that respect, I think it will be good, and I think also it seems like we have not missed any of our normal visitors. Of course, we have all our dealer network showing up here, but it seems also like it's quite busy. New people are showing up as well, and we have quite a few stopovers of new people that we don't know. Whether we can get sort of like our purpose is always to get new clients in the
of course.
in the business in a way. So to see how we can do around that, I'm not sure whether this is better or worse than what Munich is.
I think I think this weekend will be telling. I think Saturday and Sunday when the punters come and.
But that's sort of like the retailers.
Yeah.
If I was a retailer and I get a very big crowd on those days, that's very, very good.
Absolutely.
It's also good for us because it shows that somebody has interest in our products, of course.
So, talking about your products, what have you brought that's new? You've got the new Air series.
Yeah, we created a new series of speakers. We recently got some very good deals with our supplier network around the X that actually allowed us to lower the cost in the market a little bit.
So the X is the entry level.
That's the entry level of the Børresen speakers, and that created quite a wide gap because at the same time we have been putting more effort into finishing our C, so that they stand out at an even higher finished product than they were before. So that creates sort of like a vacuum as space.
So where do these fit in the hierarchy of speakers?
So these X is entry, and then A, and then C.
C,
and then T, and then M.
I played with the C stand mounts. I thought they were absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I did blow them up, but
Of course you did. I mean, sometimes we send products out to you just to have the ultimate test, so it's very, very saying. So that was
these look very much like the M series.
No, I don't think that. I think that they have sort of like the faceplate of the C.
Okay.
They also have a better tweeter than we use in the X, and they have better components in the crossover network.
Okay.
But they share the same membrane. X and C, and also now A, share the same membrane.
So how would you describe the sound of these?
I find them annoyingly good, actually, because they have this warm tone to them, but they have such a vibrant color in the dynamics.
Okay.
I think it's very, very good. And it's a speaker. I think it looks nice. I would like to have a pair at home.
It's a beautiful looking speaker.
Yeah.
But you're pairing these with the new bass modules?
Yeah, we have these BM2s that are standing here with the new bass modules.
They're a lot more manageable than the big ones.
They are more affordable. They are more manageable, and they actually perform really, really well. What's interesting about our approach to creating bass in a room is that when you have a normal sub that works in a confined space, it tries to push more air into the room and suck more air out of the room, so it works with the pressures in the room.
Okay.
These just stir the same air amount. They are not building pressure, they are just building air motion. So they perform quite different in rooms, and because it's much easier to create air motion than it is to build pressure. Because when building pressure, you have to fight the pressure inside the box and fight the pressure inside the room here.
Okay.
Here you just have to direct the airflow, so to speak, and that's much easier task.
So
that allows us to use lighter membrane, so we get a much more transient capable subwoofer.
I'm not a fan of a subwoofer.
No, because of that.
But one of the best sounds of anything, I think it was your T series floor standards with the other bass modules, the older bass modules, the bigger bass modules. And I was speaking, I think it was Frank that was running the demo at the time, and it was just one of the best sounds I've ever heard at a show. And I said, well, how are you getting that from those speakers? Because well, the speakers are not doing anything. They're just operating above 50 hertz or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just an incredibly sounding.
The thing is that when we create bass like that in this way and it's so fast, it's just not adding more bass to the thing. It also puts more texture into the mid-range and even into the treble. So it becomes a more coherent whole.
Okay.
And I think that any stand mount or any small floor stand or speaker should have a sub of this quality, because it really then the speaker can show how good it is.
And how low do these speakers go?
Basically, they go so low as you close a door, so they can go really low because they are so easy to move air.
Okay.
But of course, if you look at SPL, then the lowest frequency sort of will cancel itself, and you don't really read much output there.
Okay.
But the sense of output there is there. So
Okay.
it's a different. I think the experience you had is that the speaker next to it becomes so much better when we add that bass, even if the bass we add is not a lot.
It was incredible. As I said, I think it was Frank that was running the room, and I said, well, how have you got that sound? The sound stage was the thing, which you don't expect to get from a bass module. You expect a bass module just to do bass, but it adds something.
Yeah, it really adds texture, color, and space and room to the event, and that is basically what you want. That's also why conventional subwoofers has they cannot perform that job because they're simply too slow. They can they can create the pressure that then moves the air, but it cannot time what a good speaker does because the membranes are simply too heavy. So they are always lagging behind. And what's also the fact with most of them is to get any kind of smooth frequency response, you need to DSP them. Okay. And when you DSP them, you delay them maybe 10, maybe 15 milliseconds, and that's like the bass is in the next door neighbor's garden rather than at the location. Here we have analog crossovers, no time delay, nothing. So it times the music so much better. And
so what's the tweeter in these? Because it's not the normal X-series tweeter.
No, it's a new tweeter. It's actually our best tweeter we have put in this. Various reasons.
Okay.
One reason that was quite important for me was that it's actually a tweeter that for us is more easy to produce, even if the materials are twice as costly.
Okay.
So it was still manageable to put into this. And the benefit of putting that, the best tweeter is that it's more efficient, and that means that you have less thermal lag, you have less current going through the tweeter, so there's absolutely no risk ever of burning it. So it was a choice, but for those that buy the speaker, they get the benefits of the added resolution.
And how much these pair for the stand mounts?
These pair 10 grand.
In euros,
in euros, 10 euro.
Which is not. It's not a lot of money for a nice speaker. I've yet to hear them, but
but I think for the price, it's difficult to find anything better.
So I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to answer this. I've been told that you're working on a turntable, a tone arm.
Yeah, I am.
Which is a bit of a departure for you.
No. I made in the 90s several turntables.
I didn't know that.
And tone arms. I did that. But of course, putting into a commercial thing is another thing than you do it when you do it on a hobby level.
So you're allowed to talk, are you allowed to talk about the this?
Yeah, I can talk about it. What it will be, I can talk about.
Okay, so tell us about it.
It will be an air-bearing turntable.
Oh, how cool.
It will also feature a linear tracker tone arm.
Okay.
And that is not an air bearing, but that's a conventional bearing, but linear tracker tone arm.
So the turntable will have an air bearing on it, yeah?
Yeah, the turntable has an air bearing on it.
Cool. So is it just you that's been involved in the development of that, or
it's
Fleming and Lars been involved?
but they are always involved, but more of a observer and commentary role, and say, I don't want that, I like this better, but the concept is something I brought into the company from the 90s, my experiment with that.
So out of interest, when you're designing a speaker or a turntable or an amplifier or whatever, who in the company has the final say on what it sounds like? Is that you? Is it Lars? Is it a committee? Or
I think we have a tradition of me and Lars sitting down together and evaluating those things.
Mm-hmm.
if we look at speakers, there's always sort of like an interpretation of how it should sound.
What would you say is the classic? What
If you
if
look at
someone was
that,
to ask what were the
if you
classic
look,
sound of Børresen speakers? What would you say that is?
I think we aim of nothing.
To disappear.
Yeah, because our job is not to put a taste into people. Our job is to allow the artist behind to show what he's capable of.
Yeah.
We are not there to alter or put a tone or a color to what he does. So of course, if you look at speakers from an objective point of view, they need to be fairly flat in frequency response.
Okay.
That is one goal. But often if we make something flat, it doesn't sound particularly well. And so most often our speakers end up with a sort of like a dip of maybe 2-3 dBs over the crossover region.
Okay.
And it's fully explainable because the tweeter is much better than the mid-range. So when they try to meet each other and you make that area flat, there's a disconnect.
Okay.
And you don't hear the disconnect if you lower the volume just a tad.
Okay.
So if you make a speaker that's fully flat, comprising of multiple drivers, you will always get something that stands out or has something sticking out in the crossover region.
Sorry,
But of course, when you have been working with this for many years, it's just a natural thing to look at the driver, how the driver performs. Where does the driver have its problem? How do we deal with that? Do we make a small suction circuit around that? Will we add a little mass to the driver? What do we do to tweak out the imperfections in the driver? Because they're always there, regardless of, there's nothing as a perfect driver.
So would you ever go, you mentioned DSP earlier on, and you've said that you use just analog crossovers. Would you ever, why would you not use digital crossovers?
Yeah, because the problem is that then you need to DAC it again.
Okay.
So if you take something out, put it into something, and you DAC it out, and it comes out analog, and then you need to re-DAC it.
Mess about with it,
ADD, and mess around with it. And also, those DSPs are maybe very good in terms of getting the amplitudes right, but the timing of the amplitudes you don't get right.
Right, okay.
So there's an alteration of timing as well when you do alterations in a DSP. And for me, it always comes out sounding artificial.
Okay.
It really does.
So you would say that you are looking for a natural sound that's honest to the recording?
Yeah, we must strive for that. I mean,
so
I don't want Sinatra to sound like Dean Martin, right?
Okay, yeah.
So we cannot alter. We cannot. Because we owe it to the artists that have been creating all these wonderful pieces that we listen to.
So what do you use as a test track? What kind of music do you listen to when you play with speakers?
It's fully immediate when you listen to something that you're closer to the person.
Okay.
So we take this sound staging and how present a musician is in the room when we play it. That is our measuring stick.
What is your test track?
We have many test tracks. From Lars's EDM to old recordings to old Blue Note jazz recordings. There's a variety of tracks.
Okay.
And if we can sense the intent of Dean Martin, Fly Me to the Moon, then we are happy.
Okay. So what else have you brought? You've got the new speakers.
We also have a new amp.
Okay, that's
the
thing here,
one,
yeah? The U31.
When we started Aavik many years ago, our very first take on electronics was the Aavik U300, which was a 300 watts Class D, where we use amplification from Pascal, and we did a wonderful phono stage, and that was and a wonderful DAC inside that as well.
So
that was
is the new amp?
So,
is it just an amplifier, or is it?
No, so instead of having a phono stage, which is at least more rare, then we have equipped it instead of a phono stage with a streaming module. So it's a streaming amplifier with a very good DAC,
and how much is the new amp?
It's 15,000.
Okay, so we're looking at a 25 grand setup here, yeah?
Yeah.
With plus the bass modules.
Plus the bass modules.
Which is
9 grand each.
Which is a really nice system. It's
Yeah,
not
I think you owe it to yourself to sit down and spend a few minutes with Emil without talking dirty talk, and then listen instead of that, and then you'll see what it is.
Yeah, I'm looking
This is
forward to
all
it.
about.
I've just listened to the system on at the end. What was that one that Frank's doing?
Yeah, that's a C. That's
Yeah,
a C3 in there.
That's a really nice sounding system, so
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to
Yeah.
hearing this one.
Yeah, and then we have the M system next door,
Which-
also with the big bass modules.
We've got some friends in Chicago
Yeah.
that he said a guy called Walter.
Yeah, Walter. Yeah.
You'll know him obviously, and he was just about to buy the M1s, I think, a couple of years ago when we met him, and he was so excited about getting these speakers. I said, well, they're an expensive speaker. What do you do for a living? He went, oh, I'm a landscape gardener.
Yeah, he is.
What?
Yeah, he's such a nice guy.
He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
But I think I think if you get the whole thing of Audio Group Denmark, you buy into it. People buy into it, and
We
they get it.
We see that often our client starts quite affordable, but then end up selling their grandmother to get something better into that. I think that this truth to the artist is what brings attention and emotion. I mean, the artists do things out of passion, and when you can hear the passion of the artist, it brings something to you that makes you happy inside. I think it's also, music is also very good for calming your nervous system. It's very good for, some audiophiles get a lot of listening to errors and want to hear that triangle and triangle. But we see most of our clients are actually into music and have huge collections of something.
I think people forget that, don't they? People forget that it's not about the technology always. It's about these systems are just a conduit for us to enjoy the music.
Exactly.
And
exactly. I think that the system we have put in together here is doing exactly that. When we started doing audio, Lars and I together, oh my God, it's 25. Next year is 25 years ago.
Is it really?
Yeah, we started the
Good
company 2002.
Oh wow.
The Rido company 2002.
Yeah.
So next year 27, we have been in business. We have been married since then.
No sign of a divorce?
No sign of a divorce.
So-
Some arguments occasionally, but no sign of divorce.
I get that. I can get how you would argue with Lars.
Yeah.
But you can see that everybody that's involved, I speak to your guys, not about business or anything like that, but there's a real passion from everybody that is involved with Audio Group Denmark. Everybody just seems so, they bought into it and they talk about it and they talk about it with passion. And
I think everything should be about passion. I think that music is about passion. It's about getting those, even if you play Rage Against the Machine, they have an angry message, then you should be able to convey
Feel
the
the
angry
anger, yeah.
message. I think it's about that. It's about having and creating that and says, wow, they're good. I was listening to something yesterday and I was thinking, how in the hell do they get away with playing all that information without making one single fuck up along the way? They hit every single note.
yeah.
Every single time. How good are they?
The whole thing of music is just, I don't play an instrument, but when you hear a great musician, it moves you.
Yeah, and how are they capable of that? I admire that skill so tremendously.
So are there any other brands that you recognise as being a good brand, or?
I think there are many good brands. I think that there are many that put in a lot of effort and really push the limits of where they are. And I think that if you look back in time, I think I have I love the old Sonos Faber speakers. Not so much for
The
their
new ones
sound.
are different, I think.
Yeah, but I cannot comment on the new ones. They are a competitor of mine.
Of
but
course, yeah.
if you look at the old Franco Serbalin designs, and look how beautiful they are, how sculpted they are, I think that's for me is a big inspiration in this. And I also I'm a lucky guy because I also have Fleming around me. And he also had a pedigree in design, and he's an artist himself. And for that, we also get a lot of small hints and details. I may be the main architect, but I have so many people around me that aids me and guides me and helps me to create these absolutely wonderful thing. And without them doing
just for viewers that are unfamiliar with what we're talking about, if you get a chance to see the interview with Fleming, where he's talking about his art and his pictures and all the rest of it, he's just so passionate about the whole art thing, and we've just seen one of his paintings out there, and just an incredible guy. I think to have him on board with you guys, you guys are very lucky to have him, and he's very lucky to have you in a way.
And that's the environment we try to create, not only internal in the company, but also with our business partners around the world, and also with you guys. We try to create this open door policy and also this familiarity. And we always try to maneuver in a space of technology, know-how, pedigree, history, and also speaking truth to the word and truth to the music.
Okay.
And this, you talk about the philosophy, and I think everything we do regarding if it's an amplifier circuit or if a tweeter drive or if it's a bass module or an amplifier, or a cable, we try to take away all the things that has negative influence of getting the artist, the word of the artist out.
So one track, you can pick one track that you've got to listen to for the rest of your life. What's it going to be?
Oh my God! Maybe Walk on the Wild Side. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I that is one of the tracks I always take up, okay. And the one reason is it's a track that has great big dynamics, and if you get it in a very good mastered version, you have this stage, the saxophone and the choir around and the story he tells.
It's a beautiful record.
It is. All of that is a beautiful record, but that track in particular is wonderful. But there's so many wonderful. You know, Prince made an album called One Night Alone. He made that in 2004, where he's sitting in the night, playing piano, playing the instruments and singing. There's also a very sort of like a critic of society track called Avalanche, and if you listen to Avalanche, what he says, the way he plays the instrument is fabulous.
Have you ever seen the Prince video where he's playing guitar with George Harrison? And And at the end, he just goes.
Yeah,
basically.
There was some tension between them, and you can feel that tension.
Yeah.
It says, "I'm done with you guys. Take this shit."
That's how you do. That's how to play a guitar.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
It's just an amazing thing.
True. Yeah.
So, what's next for Audio Group Denmark? We've got a turntable coming. We've got a tone arm coming.
Yeah.
Phono stage.
We have
done the phono stage.
Yeah, we have phono stages. We have both for the DS audio type card, the optical or whatever you call it, and normal MCs and MMs as well. And I think that we will make a new introduction almost at every grand show.
What do you think of the DS cartridge? Because I think what Aki-san has done with opening it up to everyone to be able to make their own phono stages, blah blah blah. I think it's a really clever thing he's done.
I think the concept is stronger, because in a normal MC cartridge you run into the issue always. You want lighter moving mass, take fewer windings.
Okay.
You get less output. So you want a healthy output, you put more windings.
Okay.
You get a heavier moving mass. But he has just this very, very light beryllium foil. Mm-hmm. And that means that he has almost no moving mass. So the potential of that concept is by far, in terms of signal to noise ratio, greater than any other cartridge concept.
I think from a innovation point of view, I think it's one of the most important products in the last sort of 15, 20 years.
Absolutely. And I think still there is sort of like a handshake. That's why we're doing a turntable also. I think there's sort of like a handshake between the needle moving in the groove, becoming electrical, going through amplification as electric, and ending up with speakers and being movement again. So these two things like each other in a way.
Yeah.
So I think that the errors that you're prone to make in the groove is sort of cancelled out in the speaker, or the dynamic aspects like each other very, very much. So you get this sense of more presence when you have a very good analog rig and when you have a very good vinyl.
I think it's quite interesting, the whole, people call it an optical cartridge, but
It's not.
it's not.
No. The transformation of the movement into electrical, that's the optical part. It happens inside the cartridge. And what happens is that you have a sort of like a light-dependent resistor in a way, and you put more or less light on it with that foil, that beryllium foil. And that means that you get an analog signal out of it. So there's no digital. It's fully analog.
Yeah, of course.
But it's only the transition between motion and electrical that's done via light.
So when can we expect to see your turntable?
I think that there is sort of like an expectation in the company.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, there is an expectation in the company that we will finish it over the fall and introduce it next year.
Cool. So this time next year we should see it.
Something like that. I think that it has been underway for 15 years and everybody has known we have been working on it. But now it's sort of like coming to the end of the process where we are getting more and more and more of the things we're working with in prototyping as real parts that can be produced.
So how much of the, we spoke about Fleming, how much influence does he bring to the party? Because
if we talk about design, he does not bring anything technical to the party.
No, no.
He brings philosophy, he brings aesthetic things, conceptual ideas, he brings... It's sort of like we talk about things. I do a CAD design, and we talk about things again. And there's always sort of like I get better at hitting him. So because I've been working with him so long, so now I know his thinking. So I get closer and closer in the first shot. But it's always like that. We have Fleming, we have Lars, and we have I. That in a cooperation between one another create the shape and form. But you also have to look at our pedigree and our history. So we take a lot. These speakers are not so different from the speakers I designed in 2005-06.
What was the first speaker you designed?
I designed, we had a speaker line called Raido Eben X something.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the first speakers we designed, and those were released in 2002. They were very squarish.
Okay.
And then we did the speaker in 2005-06. I did the speaker that is basically form the pedigree of the Raido. If you look at the Raido designs today, they are pretty much the same as the ones I left them there.
Not changed a great deal.
No. And what we have here is building on top of that. I think that shape.
So tell me about the shape, because they're very, they look like a boat, I guess.
They look like a boat, but I think I stole the boat idea from Sonos Faber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when they brought out, I think they were called Cremona. I think that was one of the most beautiful speakers.
Yeah.
That shape, but it also has some very good sort of like when you look at the shape, it always changes dimension. So it's very difficult to get standing waves in that. So acoustically, it's a very, very good shape to build a speaker in.
Okay.
And that's also why we stuck with it.
Okay.
It's beautiful to look at. It looks like a boat, and it looks like something you want to have in your living room.
So the A series, they're being launched at this show, yeah? They're available for people to go out and buy now?
They will be available in 4 months, 3-4 months. They will be available. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
A pleasure as always. It really is always a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah. We sort of get sidetracked once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's nice.
It's always a pleasure to speak to you guys, because you're always really passionate about the products, and you get an insight into how much you care about the products. I really like that. And everybody in the company is exactly the same, whether it's Frank or Morten or Lars or Emil or you or Fritz. Everybody has got that passion of just, we love what we do.
I think Lars and I, when we started the company, we looked at each other and said we don't want to work with assholes. I think that's one of the selection criteria. We don't want to work.
An asshole.
We don't want to work with assholes.
Yeah.
We don't. We want to work with people that are constructive, supportive, and we like go-getters. We don't like people sitting down and waiting for a job to come to them. they should go get the job.
Absolutely.
I think if you were not like that in your business you run, if you just were thinking, okay, we get the show reports, we send the guys out, and then you are here. You make the effort. It's necessary.
Yeah, of course,
It's necessary.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that kind of thing is being accessible to people. You're a very famous person, but you're also accessible to people. You talk to people. I watch people, and you could be very aloof with people, but you're not. You're very personable and very easy to get on with, and you talk to people.
Yeah.
And you share
But
your
most
passion.
people are not assholes, right? So it's easy to talk to them. So
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we also, on an early stage, that said that, well, we put in so many new things over that we can be open about it. We don't need to hide anything. And people can follow us or they cannot follow us. I really don't care about that, because the next year when they followed us, we have something different and something new and something better. So we're always evolving. And so we get very, very hard to copy because of that.
Okay. Thank you very much. A
You're
pleasure as always.
You're welcome.